Hello everybody, welcome back to Cure for the Common Game. Today in deck number 604 we're going to talk about Xyris, the Writhing Storm. Yeah, that's the best I got. Green, blue, red, it took me a long time to learn the two color guilds, and I still haven't on the three colors. They keep renaming them. Anyway, we have a 3/5 Snake Leviathan, 3/5 flyer, and whenever an opponent draws a card, except for the first one they draw in each of their turns, you get a snake. Whenever Xyris deals combat damage to a player, you and that player each draw that many cards. Now, that's not a May ability. It's not up to. They're just going to draw that many cards, and so are you. So, as printed here, that's 3, So if Xyris gets in there, you're going to draw 3, they're going to draw 3, you're going to get 3 tokens. So if they draw a card at any time that's not, their normal first card per turn draw, you're going to get a snake token. So this, to me, spoke Snake Tribal. That's what it spoke to me. So that's what I did. First, we're going to look at our ramp. I say ramp, it's probably more color fix than anything else. This is 3 colors, so that's a real thing. Search for Tomorrow, Migration Path, Rampant Growth. Secure Tribe Elder kind of fits in there nicely. It's a snake, it's a lander, yeah. And then, of course, we have a bevy of artifacts here. The Teamer Banner, Catcher Crystal. Is it Cluestone? Is it Locket? Simic Key Rune, Simic Signet, Commander Sphere, Gruul Signet, and Orochi Sustainer. Because, it's a snake. It's not an elf. It's a snake. So, yeah, it is. Llanowar's better, of course. But for this purpose, it's a snake, and that's what we want to do. Now, card draw. So, we want to do things that let our opponents, or will force our opponents to card draw, right? So, Howling Mine. Obviously, this is, it's a good card. And by the way, in my mind, this is Howling Mine's art. It may just be because this was the art when I started. I don't know, but there's something just magical about that artwork. Prosperity. It's a good X spell. Each player drawing X cards. Now, we play a multiplayer format, so this can translate into a whole bunch of snakes. Vision Schemes, kind of a mini 2-shot Prosperity there. Of course, the Windfall. I think it's the only wheel in the deck. Now, Wheel of Fortune is awesome. It also carries an awesome price tag to go with it. I never would have dreamed. But I think this is the only quote-unquote wheel effect in the deck. No, I'm sorry. There's Megas of the Wheel. Those were in the pre-con, so I had access to them. Thrill of Possibility is a good one. And check out Burning Inquiry. Now, I really, really like this one. So our cards in our hand, discarding 3 cards at random, that's kind of risky business, However, that's what we want to be doing. And everybody at the table drawing 3 and discarding 3, there's a possibility that you can, mess up the plans that they've got and get some, a crazy amount of snakes out of the deal for 1 red mana. Now, let's look at our creatures. We have, surprise, surprise, snakes. Mold Adder. Now, Mold Adder is just a good, an opponent casts a blue or black spell. Whoa, that's a lot. There's a lot of cards that are blue and black that a lot of folks play, and, multicolor decks. Anyway, it just gets bigger. We have the Brood Birth Viper, which has Myriad. I bet we see more of Myriad before the year's out. It also, is some card draw there. Ophidian was one of our original blue snakes there. Love it, love it. Twin Caudal. This is our Doomblade. Flash Flying Death Touch. So, if they're attacking you, you just pop it out there. Yes, it's going to die, but it's going to take something with it with that Flash and Death Touch. Coiling Oracle is just a great card. Voracious Cobra. Skullwinder. Get in there, Skullwinder. Use this to pretty good effect. Now, Humble Defector we're going to cover because I think this is the only non-snake in the entire deck. And the reason why is you tap to draw 2 cards, okay? But yes, this is a pretty hefty drawback here because you have to give it away after that. Well, you know what? That's fine. Because I tapped it to draw 2 cards. An opponent's going to get it, and hopefully they're going to use it, because if they use it, they draw 2, you get 2 snakes, and then they're going to give it to somebody else. Now, because you're getting the snakes, they are incentivized to give it back to you. Because if they give it to another opponent, then we're still getting snakes. So, Humble Defector here really, really serves the purpose. Yes, I'm running Fire Snake because it's Fire Snake. I always look for random decks to use those weird portal cards and things like that. Lore Scale Codal. Whenever you draw a card, put a counter on it. That's pretty sweet. Honored Hydra is a Snake Hydra. That was something that I didn't, Thank you, Scryfall. Patagia Viper? It's pretty good. Anaconda. Now, this is 7th edition, yes, I know. But it's just a snake with Swamp Walk, and that, a lot of the time, that's just unblockable. Now we're going to... Kamigawa gave us a bunch of snake love. That sounded bad. The tribe. Seshiro the Anointed here. Other snakes you control get +2/+2. So now we have 3/3 snakes. Okay, and then whenever a snake deals combat damage to a player, you get to draw a card. So it's a really good anthem, and it's card draw. Seshiro. Let's see. Sasuke, Sashiro's son, pumps up the power. That Warrior Clause is not real relevant. I mean, except for, the others. The Kashi Tribe Elite happens to be a warrior, but it's more about legendary snakes have Shroud. Or legendary snakes you control have Shroud. Right? Shisato, the Whispering Hunter. Yeah, you sack a snake at the beginning of your upkeep, but skipping their untap step, man, we have the Orochi Leaf Caller, of course, too. This one is, I probably should have put this with mana fixing, because that's what it is, we can turn the green into, it is a 3-color deck after all. Orochi Egg Washer, you spend the 3 mana, you tap it, you get a snake. If you got 10 or more creatures, you flip it. And then it turns into this green sack a creature : Notice there's no tap symbol in there, so we can do this as many times as we want to sack a creature and spend a green mana. Target creature, giant growth. So you turn your sacrifice creature into a giant growth, essentially. And then, of course, we have the Glade Muse. Yeah, that player draws a card. So, let's see. A few more snake token making things like Snake Pit. Blue or black spell, you get this comes in handy. Now, Seed the Land, I'm iffy on. Played it, and this is everybody. Everybody. And we're not landfally enough to abuse it. So this may get the cut once I find something better. We got what? Let's do weirdness stuff. Heroic Intervention, it's back, and I love it, and it helps, go wide creature decks like this. Sudden Impact. Now, this is beautiful because this is the other play that, yes, we're putting cards in their hand. Might as well make them hurt for it, right? And also, just about in every game, there's somebody you look across, and they got that stack of a hand, Sometimes Sudden Impact's a one-shot kill, and it's an instant. Levitation. Making all your creatures fly. Can we say snakes on a plane? That's right. Suzuki Summons. I love this one. You get 2 snake tokens, but then when you get a non-token snake, you get to put this back in your hand. I'm sign me up. Cobra Trap. Most of the time, yeah, it's not a value for 6 mana. It's a really good value at 1 mana. Synthetic Destiny. You just flip your tokens or all your creatures, and then you trade for that many. Kind of like the Warp World. Now, the Warp World here is another one. The logic behind me putting Warp World in here is that sometimes there are board states that you just cannot deal with. Be it shroudy, hexproofy, indestructible, whatever. There are things that you just can't deal with. So, Warp World just scoops it all up. Now, granted, you risk getting something better. When I played it, I come out on the way losing into the deal, which is another reason why I will probably end up swapping it out for something else. Because my number, I went from 17 to 9, and that hurts. Warp World you want to use in, high permanent count decks, and I don't think this is it. We've got a Shielding Plaques, put on our commander, keep it all safe, snug. We have an Overrun, because let's face it, here's my Overrun that I should have had yesterday, right, or day before, last deck. A lot of creatures, that's what it do. Removal, I'm running Snake form because of the theme, and sometimes it matters, if they've got the combo-y piece out there that happens to be a creature, it can buy you a turn, if nothing else. Unsummon, Negate, Miscast, Mana Leak, Return to Nature and Naturalize, Mystic Repeal for those indestructible things, Hull Breach, because Sensei told me I had to run it, and Sleep. Now, oh my God, don't. Oh, yeah, okay, sure. I'm a dad. I think people are sleeping on this card. This is a game-winning card most of the time. Now, your mileage is going to vary in 1 versus 1, but if you can actually tap their entire team, that's going to give you a free swing with no crackback because they don't get to untap them. Not only a free swing from you, but a free swing from everybody else that's left at the table. So that's why I love Sleep. Now let's get into our crazy amounts of non-basic lands. We have a Ketria Triome, a Command Tower, Transguild Promenade, Evolving Wilds, Is It Boilerworks, Frontier Biovac, Thornwood Falls, Gruul Guildgate, Timber Gorge, Woodland Stream. These is just multi-lands is it. Swiftwater Cliffs, Simic Growth Chamber, Simic Guildgate, Is It Guildgate, and Rugged Highlands. And that's it for the snakes. Got my snake tokens there. So, yeah, I kind of like it. I had fun playing it. Here again, I think I lost with it, but, you know, I don't equate winning to fun. I equate playing to fun. So that's just me, though. As I said, your mileage may vary. Oh, we're up too high. You can't see the actual place where I'm putting the decks now. So that is 604 is complete. We will put 604 over here on the wall. Kind of looks bare, you know. I need to get... If we get a couple rows on there, it'll look fine. But that's what I've got for right now. I appreciate y'all watching. Y'all let me know what you think. And right now, we're going to shuffle and cut.